Atlanta, Irma killed one person in Georgia as storm surge and rain flooded coastal communities Monday. Wind sent trees crashing onto homes, and the world's busiest airport in Atlanta canceled hundreds of flights as the storm's punch was felt statewide despite its weakened status as a tropical storm. The city of Savannah, on Georgia's coast, was evacuated for the second time in less than a year because of the storm, and the National Weather Service in Peachtree City confirmed that Atlanta, more than 250 miles, 400 kilometers, inland from either the Atlantic or Gulf coasts, was under a tropical storm warning for the first time. One storm-related death had been confirmed in rural Worth County, Georgia. Emergency Management Agency spokeswoman Catherine Howden said Monday afternoon. She had no further details. The storm fatality occurred in southwest Georgia, where Irma's center crossed over from Florida on Monday afternoon. Tropical storm winds reached more than 400 miles, 644 kilometers, from its center, giving its powerful gusts and drenching rains a far reach. Storm surge and rainfall arriving at high tide Monday afternoon swamped communities along Georgia's 100-mile, 160-kilometer, coast. On Tybee Island east of Savannah, Holland Zellers was heading home to grab a kayak so he could reach a home where his mother had taken shelter near the beach. "In the street right now, the water is knee to waist deep," Zeller said. Sean Gillen, Tybee Island city manager, said waters appeared to be receding quickly, but the flooding was extensive on the island of more than 3,000 residents. "There's a lot of homes that have water in them right now," Gillen said. The tidal surge also sent water and damaged boats rushing ashore from more than 3 blocks into downtown St. Mary's just north of the Georgia-Florida state line, said St. Mary's Police Lieutenant Shannon Brock. Brock said no injuries had been reported. Almost all of Georgia was under a tropical storm warning. A similar warning covered parts of South Carolina and most of eastern Alabama, where schools and businesses were closed Monday. Alabama Emergency Management Agency meteorologist Jim Stefkovich said strong winds could linger in the state until 2 a.m. Tuesday. About 800 flights had been canceled at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, which remained operational Monday as its staff monitored storm conditions with help from the Federal Aviation Administration, airport spokesman Andrew Gobale said. By Monday afternoon, more than 800,000 Georgia Power and DMC customers mostly in coastal and South Georgia were without power. Alabama Power said there were 12,000 outages mostly in the southeastern area of the state. Here's the latest power outage updates from Georgia Power in Atlanta. Falling trees and limbs may pose the most significant threat to life and property. Amy Fung, Parks and Recreation Commissioner for the city, says 6 crews already were handling calls for felled trees around the city Monday afternoon, as winds and rain began to intensify. Fung says the crews expect to stay busy as Irma passes over the area and in the storm's aftermath. About half the city's land area is covered by trees, a larger share than most urban centers. Georgia's coast was largely empty after evacuations were ordered for the second time in less than a year. The coast's nearly 540,000 residents fled last October ahead of Hurricane Matthew, which caused an estimated $500 million in damage and killed 3 people. The National Weather Service said flooding rains were a major concern Monday, with 8 to 15 inches, 20 to 38 centimeters, of rainfall predicted in southeast Georgia. Downtown Savannah saw winds Monday strong enough to make palm trees bend and sway. Further inland in Lowndes County near the Georgia-Florida line, firefighters rescued occupants of a few homes struck by falling trees, said county spokeswoman Paige Dukes. No serious injuries were reported. With wind gusts reaching 70 miles per hour, 112 kilometers per hour, officials ordered a daytime curfew for the 112,000 residents of Lowndes County, which includes Valdosta. Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority suspended all bus and rail services Monday and would decide later whether to resume operations Tuesday, spokesman Eric Burton said. Georgia Power spokeswoman Holly Crawford said Monday the areas with the most power outages were coastal Glenn and Chatham counties. She says the utility company had about 3,400 employees on standby to respond, but caution repairs could take several days. Bynum reported from Savannah. Associated Press reporters Kim Chandler in Montgomery, Alabama, John Raby in Charleston, West Virginia, and Kate Brombach in Atlanta contributed to this story. Electric companies get pollution waivers. State and federal environmental regulators have issued a blanket waiver for Florida electricity companies to violate clean air and water standards for the next 2 weeks. The Environmental Protection Agency (ONU)